influenced by other people's opinions, I suppose is the right thing to say. So that was one of the first things I got rid of, but I kept YouTube because I knew there was a lot of good Christian content, good and bad, Christian content on YouTube, and yeah, that was the only one that I kept. So, and it's been really, really helpful and really useful to hear other people's testimonies and stories. And you know, the Lord uses everything to speak. Everything. And I hear Him speaking everything. So I suppose this is just me sharing some of those things that I've heard Him say. And He's had me reading about Moses and how He used Moses to bring the Israelites out of captivity in Babylon, or out of Egypt. And Moses was afraid. Moses was really afraid of all sorts of stuff, like the burning bush. And I mean, that would freak me out if I was out in the desert and everything else is dry. I suppose you could say, oh, so this bush went on fire because it was so hot and it was so dry. Well, why just one bush? We know about forest fires and things like that that have hit all over the world, devastated many cities, buildings, whole countrysides. This one bush was on fire. So he went over and had a wee nosy, as they would say here in Northern Ireland, and had a look because he was inquisitive and he wanted to know more. So God showed me Moses' personality in, like I heard, I've been listening to Pastor Conlon and his wee daily thing, and he was talking about Moses, and oh, it wasn't him, sorry, it was Troy Brewster. He does a good series on the Diva was the first one with Joseph, and he done one on Moses, and Moses was like, never lose the awe, and that's exactly like, yeah, he was so inquisitive, but he was afraid, and like he said to the Lord, don't tempt me, I don't want to go up here to Pharaoh, and he was petrified, and he even like begged God, no, I can't speak, I can't do this. So then God was like, right, okay, I'm going to send Aaron with you. You know, and God's plan is still going to go forward. And if you ask for help, He'll give you help. It mightn't have been, you know, maybe not his original plan, because he didn't call Aaron to begin with, he called Moses, but he knew maybe Moses would do it with some help with Aaron, and so it's fine, he used him too. And a bit of backup and support, and sometimes we need some backup and support to travel our journey. You know, and God even blesses that person. So even Aaron was blessed through Moses, and Aaron, the priesthood lineage came out of Aaron. Yeah, there you go. So, about doing it afraid. And then Jeremiah was like, oh, I'm too young, don't tempt me. And I said, don't say that. Don't say that. You know, sort of, God got a wee bit annoyed, a wee bit angry at Moses, and he got a wee bit annoyed and a wee bit angry at Jeremiah. And I don't think it's like the anger of, you're going to do what I tell you. Because God obviously knew they were going to do what he told them. But maybe it was more to do with, stop putting yourself down. Stop thinking you're littler than what you are. You know, it's nearly like pushing your confidence. I know you can do this. Stop talking nonsense about yourself and get on with it. The same as Elijah. Elijah cracks me up. Like, this man is nuts. Every time I think about him, like, waking up, like, his the bottom of his skirt, and then doing a runner, like as I would say here, doing a runner across the desert. and he was faster than the chariot, faster than Ahab's chariot. And I can see this wee man, like, pure sweat beating off him, and his wee legs going a dinger. And then sure he goes and hides. After he goes and like says all this here, he goes and hides in a cave. Maybe having a wee pity party for himself. And God goes to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Of course Elijah comes back with, "I'm doing the good work of God and nobody cares and there's only me left and what am I gonna do?" And then he calls him again in the cave and he's like, "What are you doing here, Elijah? What are you doing?" Like, what are you doing? Get up and go down. Stop this. And I'm sure God like has a giggle at us. I'm sure he watches and it's like, what are these people at? Like, what even is this? What did I create here? And sometimes I see my life like that. It's yeah. Oh, here she goes. Moaning again. Okay, right, so we're gonna have to figure this out for her in another way. You know? Go get it, tell her. Right, come on. Tell her again. Tell her again. Tell her again. Keep encouraging you, you know, to get you on the path that he knows you're gonna do for him anyway. And doing it afraid. Elijah did it afraid. He thought he was on his own. There was no other people, and God said to him, "No, there's still so many thousand people that haven't met the need of Baal. Go help them." And once he heard that, it triggered something in him to be like, hold on, there are people that need my help here. And the same as Jeremiah, poor Jeremiah. God, oh, poor Jeremiah. But he went and he did what he was told. And Moses went afraid and did what he was told. And this is what God's been saying to me: go afraid. I've given you enough. Go afraid and do it. And then he'll put on my heart. You had my mum say something to me last night. Do you know, when it brought me to tears? And I laugh and be in awe like Moses was at God when he uses people. They don't even realise what they're saying. They don't even know what's going on in my head. And they say something and it triggers me and I'm like, there it is. God just spoke to me. And that just leaves me in awe. I'm like, you'd use anything. Like he used a donkey in the story of Balak and Balaam. He used a donkey to talk. You can use anything. I'm not saying my mum was a donkey, but you can use anything, and that's why I'm saying everything talks. And she said something last night. She was telling me about this book she was reading and these things she was reading on YouTube. My mum's like me, she likes to talk. And this went on for quite a while. And she got to this story where it was about people giving their testimonies about going to heaven. And one of the men had got to heaven and he had seen Jesus, and Jesus said to him, "Do you want to go back?" But he could see paradise behind Jesus' back. And in his head he was like, "No, I want to go there." But Jesus kept saying to him, "Do you want to go back?" Because he could see his mum praying. And in his head he would say to himself, COVID masks whenever COVID hit. She still had them in there. She was laughing at it. And I say all that story to say this. The other week, I thought God was really putting this on my heart, and I was thinking about buying a tripod and or like a holder for my phone for the car, because I hadn't got one. And I was like, that'd be really handy if I was going to record, because I don't have any equipment. This is like on my phone. And I was like, oh, should I buy this? I was on Amazon looking, I was like, oh, is this rubbish? She says, I don't know what I'm buying here, like I haven't got a clue about these things. And I'm sitting in her car and she's hooking through this wee bag and she says, oh, look, Emma, there's a wee, do you need that, love? That's a wee phone holder for the window of your car. And I was like, are you for real? Because I didn't purchase the other one on Amazon. And then she pulled out another one, a second one, and I was like, is this like confirmation? Like, I think of it now and I'm like, God didn't send monies in too. Take your pick, Emma. And she's like, yeah, you can have that one. The other one's not sticky and this one's easier and it holds on. And I'm sitting going, Lord, you didn't just do that. You just didn't provide the stupidest wee thing, like a phone holder, to try and get me to do this. There's no excuses now. And I'm sitting looking at the two phone holders that the phone's sitting in now, and I was like, oh, this here one has a better thing to hold your phone with, and well, this one like sucks to the window a bit better. And just my mum's a bit of a, like we call here in Northern Ireland, a tinker. She likes to take things apart and fix them. Like she always I don't know, she's just odd. Like she'll fix watches and clocks, and like if there's knots and necklaces, she'll sit and she'll like take all these necklaces apart until anyway, I do not like those. Like I don't like doing those things. That frustrates me. She can take anything apart and put anything together. So she took the top of this phone holder and then put it on the other sticky leg arm thing that I wanted, and that is what my phone's being held in, is the two bits that she put together out of the two things, because that's what I preferred. And it all clicked in and all fixed, and that is what my phone is sitting in. So it's just a funny story about how God provides the stupidest, that's not even a word in English, but I'm going to use it, the most stupid things to get you to go forward, pushing and pushing and pushing. It's a bit like when I said to Moses, go do this, go do that, and he was still like, I don't know about that. Or Jeremiah's like, oh, I'm too young, I don't have enough experience. I haven't a clue about speaking on YouTube. The only like public speaking that I've done was at uni, during my degree. You have to do like presentations, and a lot of that was group work. The last postgrad cert I done was a module, and we had to present in front of a very small class, and that was with the class all year. Those students were like older women, a bit like myself, middle-aged women. Okay, they'd probably kill me if any of them watch that and say this, or hear me say this. So small groups. Maybe in my last job I taught a little, like one-on-one, maybe 2-3 girls, some stuff. So not a great public speaker. I won't get sidetracked. Say a lot of stuff probably that's not necessary, but anyway. So this is maybe what we're going to do, and I don't know. And going back to the previous point, I would never want to get to heaven and God say, Emma, I give you the phone holder, I give you the technology, I give you the experiences, I give you the life lessons, I give you all the scripture to help you with this. Why are you not doing what I asked you to do? So I'm gonna wing it and give it a go. So I'm at work. I'll tell you more about my job and all my life lessons. So we're going to be sharing more. I'm going to go through all different things that God has shown me, God has done for me in the past year because of what's happened in my life, and also all throughout my life. And I only say in the past year because that's when it's most significant, where God has taken the veil off my eyes and shown me what's really been going on in my life all through I was a child, from a baby right up till now. A living testimony. And is it in Revelation it says, you save those through the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony, and that keeps resounding in my head. So I'm here to give my testimony. Yeah. So watch out for the next ones.